कुछ डालने तो नहीं मेरे बारे में, अच्छा बुरा जैसा भी हो, मैं करता हूँ जैसे। Some Valentine special, but clearly this particular mashup was very average, not any song that I had ever heard, so I didn't even know what to do. No problem. For those of you who are asking, how is your eyes? My eyes much better. It's taken the whole week for it to become normal, so I was hoping that I don't have to wear my sunglasses today, and thank God, no. But till yesterday, I was having issues, so yeah, the whole week of eye issues, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Today we are calling our session as a love special. So I'm going to particularly be looking for questions in relationships with spouse, with partner, boyfriend, all of those. So let's go deep into love. Today being Valentine's Day, let's make the most of it. Yeah. Let's see who all are here. Shubhangi, Nutan, Jersey, Devika, Gargi Arya, Aditi, Hari Kasri vocals. Fabulous. Leena, Namrata Utsav, seeing you again today. What dedication, Namrata. 4 hours in the morning and now again. God bless you, sweetheart. Anuj, Steffi, Deval, Spin Wheel with Itisha, Mansi, Afo, Sneha, Kalekar, Mayank. Magnifying Impressions by Tanya. Pooh here. Hello ma'am, logic of chloroform and bahus of daily soaps. Every gunda comes and the actress ko chloroform sugha kar kidnap kar leta hai. Your experience on this being an actress. Pooh, actually I'm not an actress at all, so I have no idea about what you're asking. Neither do I watch the daily soaps. I'm going to guess that one of the easiest ways to kidnap and save time rather than build a full story is to just use chloroform. So I'm just going to guess it's their way of saving time to not get into fight and you know, every minute on TV counts. So chloroform must be the fastest way to kidnap is my guess, but irrelevant to our lives as far as, you know. Siley, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's to every single one of you here today. So sweet. How to dream big when we have minimal thought process since childhood. You know what? Instead of trying to dream big, my suggestion is always dream realistic and then stretch it a little bit. What do I mean when I say that? Like a rubber band, no. So let's say for you a realistic dream is getting a promotion with 1x your salary. What if you made it, okay, instead of 1x, can I go for or try 1.5x? And then you start to work backwards for, instead of just getting a regular raise of 1x, I want a 1.5x raise. So whatever that means, this is just an example. Of course, nobody's getting a 2x raise or a 1x raise simply from your jobs, but just giving you an example. So can you dream a little big, which is little big, not too big? Because you know what? Some of us get inspired and motivated with big dreams. For some of us, the absolute opposite happens. You have too big a dream, you forget to celebrate all the small goals that you achieve towards that big dream, and so you can actually start to feel demotivated. Let's say I'm earning 25,000 rupees a month and my big goal is 5 lakh rupees a month. So when I touched 50,000, I doubled myself and I forgot to celebrate. When I touched 1 lakh, I was like, I'm still 4 lakhs away from my dream goal. So you know what, darling, if you don't have a mindset of dreaming big, my suggestion, realistic, slightly stretched, is a great goal to have. It actually builds your confidence, and anyway, every goal that we touch, every goal achieved is a goal upgraded. So you're anyway going to keep on upgrading your goals, darling. So how does it matter whether you started with thinking big or you use compound interest? 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8, 8 became 16, 16 became 24, 32, sorry. 16 became 32. And like that, at some point, you're sitting in the millions without even realizing from where you started. And that's also so much fun. Zen Kagazi is saying, I was waiting for you. Thank you. Ritu Tana, hello ma'am. Deval, hello. Shivani, Saubana. Wait, actually, you know what? The book that I want to show you, I brought the book of the week, but suddenly I'm thinking it's Valentine's Day. I'm reading I read 3 books simultaneously actually. So I'm reading the Jay Shetty's 8 Rules of Love right now. I should show you that book. So before we finish today, I'm going to bring that book back for those of you who would love to know. It's a latest book that has just shown up on the bookshelves of all the bookstores. I think I've only reached rule 2, so I'd love for you to go through that book. I think he has some great things to say. Card. Let me quickly show you the card. Let's pull out a card. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let me put it flat. And today's card is Grow. Devote a little time every day to daydreaming about all the developments that you want to happen in your relationships. Keep your thoughts positive, constructive, and joyful. Trust that whatever you are dreaming about will soon manifest in your life. So the word is grow. Devote a little time every day to daydreaming about all that you want happening in your relationships. So highly recommend that. I am someone who's a big believer of, I better keep it out so that I can send you a picture. Big believer of visualization. So visualizing your relationships is such an important part of where you are going with your relationships. So I remember there was a time when I just wanted to go on a holiday with Puneet and not fight. Okay, so even if we went like 3 days to Goa, kisi tarah on the 3rd day koi ladai ho jati, and I would feel like, you know, both of us have taken out time, both of us are spending money, both of us are, and still we'll end up fighting. It used to be so annoying. We just couldn't go past 3 days of not having at least a mini argument, if not a silly argument, right? But you know what? Over the years, I remember the first time I was so excited when I was able to do a full trip without fighting. And then 2 trips, and then 3 trips, and then a month passed by, and then 3 months passed by, and then 6 months passed by. I'm still a big believer that every now and then we should have disagreement and conflict in our relationships because it helps us grow as people for sure. So I'm not a believer of complete 100% buying peace, because I think buying peace makes your relationship fake. But there should be a style or template of how to communicate your upsets. We create templates around everything. Why don't we have a template for how to communicate your upset? When you're upset, what is it that you need to, and how is it that you need to speak? You know, I always say there are layers of how to communicate. We start with what we call anger, but a lot of us get stuck at anger. Under anger, there is hurt. Express your hurt, you look more vulnerable, and you know what? The communication is a lot more real. And the person then doesn't get so defensive, because instead of blaming in anger, you start to speak about how you are experiencing that whole thing. And under hurt is fear. Fear that, you know what, you'll end up neglecting me, fear that you'll move on, fear that I'm feeling insecure, fear that whatever your fears are. And under that, there is love. what is it you actually want? So express your love and actually speak about not all the time what it is you don't want, but what is it you actually want. And at the end of the day, reconfirm how much you love the person. So you know what, like put in a line of appreciation and you follow a little bit of some template of some kind. This I've just given you off this thing, but if you can just start to follow a template, I can tell you communication becomes so much better. Every time I want to say something to Puneet, I'm always thinking of what's the best way to communicate it. I remember at one point one of my teachers, Mahatria, had said this, that 90% of your time should be in setting up the soil, only 10% of your time to seed the idea. And I loved that you know what, we don't set enough we don't spend enough time actually setting up that whole, you know, platform of what it is we want to say and what is the context of what we want to say. So highly going to recommend that, coming from the place of, if you really want to grow, think about what would be the next level of your relationship, what needs to happen, and then start to consciously learn how to go there. Yeah. All right. Hi Anita, so nice to see you after such a long time. Parul, Spin with Itisha, Millie, Mayank. They so sweet. You are my favorite Valentine. That's too cute. Millie's asking, what is love as per you, Puja? Well, I think to me, love has many definitions in terms of what it does. Let me tell you what is not love for me. For me, love doesn't come in only the box of romance, which is what I feel like where a lot of us have gotten stuck. So one of the things recently I was talking to my mom about, and she was saying, Puja, but that relationship doesn't have a spark in that, you know, somebody she was talking about, and she said, it doesn't have a spark. And I feel like too many of us, because of the movies we watch, because of the idea that has been sold to us, we have started to believe that every relationship must have a spark for it to be fancy or amazing and all of that, right? I don't think so. I think there is the initial love, which is supposed to be all about spark. And then there is this mature love where you are there for each other, where you are, you know, what do you call it? Pillar of strength to one another, helping each other grow, helping each other becoming a better person. And to me, that love is also very, when people say, you know, we, instead of being romantic partners, now we are more like friends. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying don't schedule intimacy or don't have that. Please have all of that, but also start to respect the idea that, you know what, if you can still be friends, that's beautiful. I feel like we've over-exaggerated this love, which romantic love, which we have put on a pedestal, and with days like this, it gets even more exaggerated, you know. It's not that your spouse doesn't love you, but for a lot of us, we may not even get wished, we may not even get flowers, we may not even get gifts, we may not get, and you know what, that doesn't mean that the love is any lesser if someone doesn't believe in Valentine's Day. And the worst part is that now with social media, we will keep on comparing and making ourselves feel worse. And while I know I've gone a little off track from your question on love, I just wanted to make sure that we speak about that, you know what? Romantic love is not the only kind of love. There are so many other loves that exist in the world, and you know, for us to learn to get that, respect that, give that, all of that is so important. So I'd love for you to sit down and today write about your love for your children, your love for your parents, your love for your friendships, your love for, and all of those love matters, don't they? Of course, this morning I was taking the goddess Kuan Yin, which is also like mother of compassion and mother of love. So if you had to personally ask me, what's my definition on love? I feel like deep acceptance of people is my definition of love. When we stop trying to fix people and we start to accept people for who they are, it's a different energy we move into. So if you really had to ask me what kind of mature love I would love to give to everybody in this world, it's of deep acceptance, zero judgment. The minute the world will start to move there, I can be totally who I am with you, and you can be totally who you are with me, and we don't judge one another, rather we respect one another for our differences. Wow, to me that love is the kind of love that excites, right? Okay, I've come right to the bottom. I love it. All the boys who want attention, they're like, I want sex, love is sex. You know what, you're not going to get any attention in my page. You know why? Because everyone's so evolved, so mature, they know exactly how to ignore you, they know exactly how to smile and not give you any energy. So my suggestion, go to some other forum and do all of this natak. Here it won't work, because here onwards I won't give you any bhav. Okay. Swati Pandey, 9 to 9. Everybody, just send lots of love to everybody who's looking and seeking love in whichever form. You know, we must bless everybody. Swati Pandey, 9 to 9. How to enhance my divine feminine? So I feel like there are a few qualities of the divine feminine that you may need to own. One is to just firstly slow down. There's a speed that we are all running life at. Somehow in the world, we've been told that, you know what, it's a race. We need to, you know, we'll be left behind. What if life was not a race at all? What if there was no running? What if everything happens at its own divine speed? So if you really want to own your divine feminine, one of the things I always recommend is remove all the deadlines from all of your stuff and just watch how the stress will disappear. So one of the rules I have with the divine is I decide what I want, you decide when I get it. And so you know what happens? There is no stress. If it doesn't happen this month, I don't touch my numbers, I'll touch it next month. I don't touch it this year, I'll touch it next year. Life is really long and we are going to at some point get there. Why do I need to panic and make my life and my stress and my relationships and my emotions all upheaval because, oh God, I didn't touch my numbers this quarter? I think a lot of us are running the masculine race. The more you want to honor your divine feminine, the more you want to start to really, every moment has to become joyful. So the question to ask yourself every morning is not what are my targets or what are my goals, but how am I going to achieve this goal while carrying my joy with me? And if you are able to carry your joy, your inner peace with you all along, you are divine feminine, my darling. Divya, what if your spouse loves you but is so busy with work that there is hardly any connection anymore? Even if we try and set up dates or alone time, but doesn't happen because of his busy schedule. So Divya, one of the things about life is that a lot of times we are in a period with our man when he's building his life. I always say this, unfortunately, the way life is built, normally the first 10 years of his work life are also the first 10 years of his married life. Maybe, okay, he may have already worked for 5-7 years, so you've come in 5-7 years later, but those are the 10 years of him building himself, and those are the 10 years of him having to attend to you also. So unfortunately, the way life is created, that is one of the conflicts that every person who's working is put into. Now, having said that, like you've so clearly put that even when we set up dates or alone time, it doesn't happen. My suggestion, keep trying. Okay? And at some point when you can prioritize one another, and once in a while, if it's not happening once a week, try once in 2 weeks. If it's not happening once in 2 weeks, try once a month. If that is not happening, can we make it like, I remember I had a friend where both of us were working, so lunch and dinner became almost impossible. But so we started to go out for breakfast. Is breakfast an option, Divya? Check. You know, to every problem, we have a solution. It is just that every solution takes effort. And one of the things you may need to sit down and let your husband and you decide together in communication is that, are we going to prioritize one another? If the answer is yes, then you'll find solutions. The thing is to be able to remain flexible enough to navigate towards solution. Most of the time, you know what happens when he doesn't come for the date night? Let's say you decided Wednesday night you're going to go out at 8 p.m. and he's reaching home at 10 o'clock. You've already lost hope. You're so disappointed and hurt that he doesn't love you, that he doesn't care, that you know what, you at that point, instead of coming up with a solution, you're more into like, how can he do this to me? Does he not care? Does he not respect me? And we go into that negative mode. Instead, what if you told him, okay, no problem, sweetheart, if it didn't happen tonight, let's do it tomorrow morning. And if you can keep looking for those kind of solutions where he feels understood, where he feels his work is also respected, he doesn't feel it's work versus you, rather he feels like, you also understand, yet both of us are building that life together. And I think when that starts to happen, it becomes very, very different. Now Divya, because I know you, I already know you're quite an evolved soul, so I have no doubt in my head that once you become solution mindset, communicate that with your spouse, and then navigate like a river than a straight road. The straight road is very rigid. The river is able to bring the man along with her till the solution shows up. So carry him with you. Doesn't matter, we'll do it next time. Can I tell you, it's better to keep your man in guilt by saying, doesn't matter, let's do it next time, then remove his guilt by saying, you are a horrible man, you are never going to be able to do da-da-da-da-da. You do that, you have just removed all of your man's guilt, and now he's fighting you rather than feeling guilty towards you. So see if any of this works for you, my Jan. All the very best. How do you find out? Devika's asking, how do you find out if your boyfriend really loves you? Devika, you know what the truth is? We always know. It is that sometimes we choose to ignore the yellow and red flags. So the action of a man is always communicating to you whether he loves you or not, whether he says it or not. It's always in communication. Does he respect you? Does he keep his commitments towards you? Does he show up when he needs to? When you need him or when you are needy of something, is he able to provide? All of those are signs that this man loves you, right? And the opposite is also true. When you feel abandoned, when you feel left, when you feel unstable, when you feel insecure, when you feel that you can't depend on him, when you feel like he blows hot, blows cold, when you feel like, he plays games with you, all of this, in hindsight, we can always look back and say, what was my relationship like? Like I can tell you, for the first 10 years of my marriage was not great. Okay, because he was so busy in his work, it was unbelievable. But what I knew genuinely was that he's a good man who actually loves me. Now, whether he's able to express it or not, I always felt his goodness. I may not have felt his love. And then as time passed by and I started to increase my love, and I started to, instead of reacting, responding to him, our entire relationship started to change. So when somebody asks me, how do I know? Put both your hands on your heart, you will know. And the fact that you're asking this question, there is a doubt there. Okay? People who feel loved don't doubt love. So one of the ways to know is, whenever you will ask yourself, is he faithful? Does he love me? The fact that that question is showing up 50% of the time or 60-70% of the time, the chances are there's something that you are seeing that you want reassurance on. So just check, what is it that you're looking for reassurance on, and go and blatantly ask him that, look, this is what I felt, this is what you did, explain to me. And sometimes when they'll explain to you, it will make a lot of sense, and sometimes you can totally see that they are bullshitting you. Whatever they are saying, it's just not coming and landing. And when that happens, then also you know that, I need to be wary. Ashna Sethi, how to make your husband expressive, how to make him understand your importance. Ashna, you know what? In my belief, it's the day you stop looking for it is the day that it will come. I know, such a horrible answer to give, but what to do? I remember being a beggar of looking for his appreciation, acknowledgement, all the time looking for him to validate me, to give me compliments, to give me that importance that I knew I wanted or deserved. And I wouldn't get it. I was like chasing him full time, and he was going away from me. And I can tell you, when I started to build who I am, creating my own identity, creating my own, sometimes we think, if I go off in my way, then who will keep this relationship together? Two complete people come together far better than two incomplete people. Two incomplete people, nothing to hold on to. Two complete people form a lock, right? So make yourself so worthy where you start to fall in love with you, where you start to like you, where you start to feel like, yes, and you will start to see his entire energy changing. The more we seek it, the more it goes away. The more complete we become, the more it comes towards us. So see if any of that makes sense to you, my Jan. Spin wheels with Itisha. I'm super excited kind of person, like outing, celebration, but my husband is the opposite. He does what I want, but I feel bad that he's forcefully doing it. How to handle this? So Itisha, one of the things is that we will often discover that we marry our opposite. And I'll tell you why. When we fall in love, God has put that particular hormone in our body where we only see similarities. Okay, so when I was getting married to my husband, I was like, he loves movies, I love movies. He loves food, I love food. He loves family, I love family. He loves, and it just became like, oh, we are so similar. 3 months after marriage, it became, he loves action movies, I love romantic movies. He loves Indian food, I love Chinese food. He loves spending time with his family at home, I love going out to spend time with family. And I realized we were actually fully opposites. And that's pretty much what happens to every marriage eventually, where we can now start to see the differences in the similarities. Okay, so when you say that I'm the more adventurous, outgoing kind and he's the more stay-at-home kind, that's why God brings us together to create balance. So in every relationship of ours, the job of the relationship is eventually to be in balance, and the easiest way for God to bring balance into the relationship is by getting us married to someone who will open up the other dimension for us. So don't feel bad at all that if he's doing it for you, allow him to do it for you. He feels good. Instead of stopping him from doing what he wants to do from you, become extremely appreciative of what he's doing for you. A man loves to protect, provide, make his woman feel good. And when you allow him to do that for you and you appreciate him, his ego grows. Ego in a good way, okay? Feeding the man's ego in a good way. I'm not talking about the narcissistic ego here. I'm talking about the feeling that he feels when he's around you because of the appreciation you give him. So for a man, his respect, and for a woman, his love. A woman must feel loved, a man must feel respected, and when he does all of this for you and you appreciate him, guess what he feels? He feels like he's contributing to the relationship. So don't stop him from doing it, just become extremely appreciative of it. Yeah? Divmin 1. Can we have healthy hair with visualization? Divmin, try it, and if it works, please let me also know, because I would also love some more healthy hair. I mean, I keep my hair blow dried most of the time, because if you saw it without it, it looks like one jhadu. And for all of us, you know what, we have different features which we are not most crazy about, but you know what, learning to keep it well is also an art. So I don't know. I would love to believe yes, but I have no scientific backup for me to be able to say that. So try it, why not? Kya malum? Shipra Happy Soul. Just order bouquet for husband and not expecting from husband coming with rose. Oh, just ordered a bouquet for my husband and I'm not expecting from my husband anything. That's great. Shipra, to not have that expectation is such a beautiful gift you give to yourself. How many of you are realizing, especially on Valentine's Day, that most of our problems comes from our expectations? True or not? And you know, one of the things I have done over the years is to turn all celebrations into self-responsibility. So one of the most important sentences I say to myself on celebrations is, I am responsible for my own happiness. Which means it is not on him. If he gives me flowers, which he has today, so I'm showing off. If he gives me flowers, that's great. But if he doesn't give me, I will give myself. If he gives me a gift, that's great. If he doesn't give me, I will give myself. What I don't know, what I don't want to happening, or what I'm not going to allow to happen is that I let Valentine's Day ruin my mood. My Valentine's is not greater than me. I am greater than Valentine's Day. So if good things happen to me on Valentine's Day, I'll celebrate Valentine's Day. And if good things don't happen, I will celebrate it by myself. So I think changing our expectations, I don't say don't have expectations, all of us should have expectations, but learning to manage our disappointment when the expectations don't get matched is as important as having the expectation. So I was expecting flowers this morning, but let's say it wouldn't have come, I would have hinted. By 12 o'clock, I would have said, Puneet, I think Nidhi is trying to call you. She's my florist, so. Or something, in the evening, you know what? Dad sent mom beautiful flowers. Hint, hint, hint. If till the evening he's still not got the hint, I'll just give myself flowers and give him the bill. So you know what? I am not going to upset myself. There used to be a time where I remember after every such day, anniversary, birthday, this thing, we used to have massive fights. Because if he gave me the flowers, he forgot to give me the card. If he gave me the card, he forgot to give me the gift. It didn't matter what he did. He used to say, Puja, nobody can make you happy. And I used to say, you don't even try anymore. So what are you talking? And continuously that used to be our permanent conversation. So I think it was very unfair. I think we need to all mature up from that space and just go, you know what? If it comes, great, and if it doesn't, I'm fully capable of looking after myself. My mom is so smart, she'll borrow my dad's credit card and go shopping for herself. And she say, Valentine's Day tha na, maine apne liye shopping kar li. He doesn't say anything, but you tell him to bring a gift and she spends the whole day waiting. Oh, I'm 100% sure she's going to get disappointed. So let's look for compensations at the level where instead of, if you're not getting what you're expecting, shift it to what can you get and see if you can work with that. Sometimes I have people who will come to me and say, but Puja, he took me out for dinner because I said so. And I go, you are so lucky because there are so many women in this world who are saying so, yet not getting to go for dinner. At least when you say so, he does it. I think for that itself, we should be grateful. Amita, hi Puja, my in-laws are not our well-wishers, though not living with us. Urge to record my hubby's phone call to be able to gauge their conspiracy beforehand. Amita, I don't know what the question here is, but I'm guessing that what you want to do is you want to record your husband's phone calls to be able to gauge their conspiracy beforehand. Amita, if it helps you, please go ahead. I'm not anyone who will stop you from doing that. I do believe that, you know what, as parents, we should give people more credit. Now, I'm not saying that they are not coming with their personal agenda. There are all kinds of people in the world. But I think sitting down with your spouse and figuring out how you want to deal with this will give you inner peace. All of these games playing that they are doing with you and then you in return start to play games with them, I don't know where it will lead you. Eventually, it can't lead you to inner peace. Inner peace is only going to come in when you're going to say, you know what, I release them from my judgment and from my journey. I'm going to live my life my way and I don't want to participate in the drama that they are bringing in my life. So normally my suggestion is always look for the route out rather than the route into the kitchen that's getting created. So I don't know what is at stake, but you're going to have to see how you can use what I'm saying for you to be able to return to inner peace rather than go deeper and deeper into the quicksand of all of this, you know. It doesn't leave us feeling better for sure. Neha, hi Puja, from tomorrow I'm in a group of braggarts for 3 days. No escape, any suggestions for survival? No idea what braggarts are, so I'm going to skip. CS Nidhi, what to do if a husband doesn't like friendliness with a co-worker who is a guy? So Nidhi, one of the things very important in every relationship is to decide what is going to be the line of monogamy to polygamy. So today in the world we live, nobody needs to decide the rules apart from the two of you. So in case he's not comfortable with your friendliness, you need to sit down and have that discussion with him very openly as to where do you want me to go from here? He is at work every single day. What is he being suspicious about? See if you can settle his suspicions. If you feel he's unreasonably suspicious, at least don't do things in front of him. So you'll have to come up with a solution, my sweetheart. A lot of times I tell the women that come to me that, you know what, stop sharing all of this information. You're just making him insecure. He's already an insecure man and you are rubbing it into his face. Why? Sometimes I tell the woman that, you know what, maybe he's not being so unreasonable. Maybe he can see something that you can't see. Maybe the way that man is giving you attention and the way you are enjoying it right now, it's all feeling very naive or innocent, but it can very quickly trigger into something and become a relationship before you even know it. And tomorrow he doesn't want you, him and that man to be in a situation that can cause so much pain. So it all depends on how you'd like to treat it. If you feel like your man is extremely unreasonable, then you'll have to treat it differently. If you feel like, no, actually, you know what, maybe what he's saying could be true, that yes, I am a little over friendly, but he should learn to deal with it. So you'll have to just see. And I think that the most important thing when it comes to these things is communication. I love to ask myself, who matters more? When my husband objects to something, I like to listen to him, because you know what? That's the same level of sacrifice I will expect from him if he objected to me. So we have come to a conclusion that, you know what? This is allowed, this is not allowed. This is allowed, this is not allowed. You can speak with him, but you cannot chat with him. You can, when you meet him in the office, it's okay, but you cannot move it to chatting in the night or whatever. If you can create boundaries and rules that make him feel safer, try that. That also works like magic. My suggestion, Google Esther Perel and start watching her videos. She speaks beautifully on this topic of where we need to create the line of, in our relationships of what is okay, what is not okay. And one of the things she says is the conservative person gets the prerogative. So the one who's conservative needs that little extra looking after if your relationship is really important to you. So see how you can use all of this, darling, to make sure. What you can't do is you can't keep fighting it out. If every single day your inner peace is being taken away because of his insecurities, you need to tell him that, darling, you are getting too insecure. Everything is normal. Here is my phone, I remember at one point telling my husband, he had kept one very pretty looking merchandiser in his office, and I was like, I can't have you keeping her. And he said something very nice. He said, Puja, if I remove her, no, I will hold it against you for the rest of my life that you didn't trust me. And I will feel very bad about it. You do whatever it takes to build your trust. You want to join my office? Join my office. You want to keep a detective? Keep a detective. You want to know the password to my phone? Do that. You do whatever it takes to make yourself comfortable. Don't make me uncomfortable because of your discomfort. And that really sank into me, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, why should he pay the price of my insecurity when he's saying, do whatever you want that makes you secure. Just don't take that person away, because that will just be unfair. So all of this whole, I think any discussion around insecurity, unfaithful affairs needs to be had with both the people, where you can come to a conclusion that works for both of you. There are not so many rights and wrongs as there are adjustments and understandings. So for some people, something could be extremely, extremely wrong, and for another couple, that could just be a joke between them. So I've seen all kinds, so I'm going to say there is no one answer. It is whatever works for both of you, and that communication is very, very important. I'm new to this forum. Oh, it's all the passions. It's all about the passions. Okay, welcome. It's all about the passions. Yogita, blessings, blessings, blessings to everyone across. Loads of love and happy Valentine's Day. Ooh, so sweet. Okay, I'm going to go right to the bottom. Let's see what's happening there. Dr. Shweta Z is asking, can mothers make vision boards for her kids? I think mothers can bless the kids. My suggestion would be involve them and help them make their own vision boards. You know, we should not be the designers of our children's life. They should design their own life. We should only be platforms or facilitators or helpers. The minute we take over that we want to design our children's life, we start to put all of the pressure. We never did well in school, but they should come first. We were not great in sports, but they should be brilliant at it. So when we make that kind of vision board, we're only adding more pressure in their life. Hai na? So my suggestion would be, help them write out their goals and then help them make their vision board, even if it is small, cute, tiny one, even if it is 3 things like them writing things like, you know, being able to cycle better or learn swimming this year, whatever is coming to them, respect that and honor it and help them achieve it. For that is what's going to build their confidence, rather than, we creating their vision board and adding more pressure to their already very pressureful life. Shruti Gandhi, how do you deal with an emotionally unavailable husband? See, at the end of the day, every relationship comes down to communication, right? So I remember at one point, my husband is a little bit of an introvert and would never have much to talk with me. I won't say he was emotionally unavailable, but he was way too occupied with too much in his life, He had at a very young age of 22, 23, he lost his father. He had the responsibilities of his mother and brother. There was just too much going on for him. So I do feel like at that point, one of the things I did was I should start every conversation on topics that he used to love talking about. So I knew I had no interest in his factories and I had no interest in his work, but I would just ask him, so how was work? Or I knew the topics that he loves talking about. I would purposely pick on those topics and from there try to lead him into topics of interest that I had. So that was one of the things I tried. Again, like this, you can do many things. Look for common interests. Even if he's emotionally unavailable, but he's very fond of gardening, start doing gardening with him. If he's very fond of whatever he's fond of, right? And you can try all of that. And if none of that works, then therapy is great. Because you know what? If he's blocked due to some childhood trauma or because of what he's seen at his home, in his house, with his parents, I have no idea what is blocking him, but some of the things even if you tried your level best, you won't be able to heal. For that, he will need to go for some sort of coaching, help, therapy. And you know what? Maybe you can go together for some sort of couples counseling and that can open both of you up. One of the things Puneet and I did, I remember in 2006, was picked up this book called Your Best Year Yet. And together we went to Goa, and we created our goals together. This was the first time in my marriage that I felt like we were both on the same train. Otherwise, I used to always feel like we live parallel lives where I want to go to America and he wants to go to Japan. And it was literally us. Everything was about two different directions. And only when we did this whole goal setting together that we got on the same, suddenly together we were talking about the things we wanted to do. Everything changed. So I'm going to highly recommend, see if you can get him and you to do your goals together, or look for things that could be common. And if nothing helps, then of course couples counseling is something I would recommend. Trisha Rise High is saying, what's your plan for tonight? We have someone's birthday party to go for, so we are going there, and tomorrow we have a very early start. We are going to one temple, so for both the things, that's what we are doing. So nothing too romantic. We may take 2-3 friends from there and go off for dinner. That may happen, I don't know, but all open, It's our 25th Valentines, and I'm kind of like released myself from all of the things that norms expect us to do. We should go for dinner. We should do that. We should do this. I think we've kind of like outgrown all of that. We still love doing those kind of things because Puneet and I go out for dinner every Wednesday, any which ways. So how will all of this Valentines and birthdays and anniversary celebrations are special if you don't do it in the rest of the year. But if I'm doing it every week, then I need Valentine's to be something different. Maybe not going out for dinner and doing something unique at home would have been very interesting. But now that we have a birthday party to go for, I think we're going to have a blast. He very sweetly sent these flowers, gave me chocolates, gave me a beautiful neck piece, very cute one, no real shell and all, just a nice necklace, which I really loved receiving. So I'm in a very happy place any which ways. All right, it's 4:44. Very quickly, just look up and say a prayer that Godji, whatever my romantic love life has been up until now, may 2023 be the start of something super amazing. Whether it's in the current marriage or in some or in a relationship that you want to attract, very quickly, just say a prayer that, you know what, may this love portal of mine open up beautifully and allow me, God, to receive the love that people want to shower on me. So, something like that. And just open yourself up, because sometimes our love chakra is only all shut down for whatever reason, and all we need to do is just open it up, and suddenly you'll see your energy shift will make people very attracted to you. Okay. I will put the picture of the Jay Shetty book. I will also put the picture of this thing. Let me very quickly read out to you the winners of this week. All right, we had almost 38 of you participating. So massive congratulations to every single person who shared in their story my photo, your key takeaway, and you tagged me. If you did these 3 things, then you know you are a part of the Date with Destiny somewhere in mid-April that we are going to go on. So Date with Destiny, I'm saying Date with Puja. Yeah. So winners of this week are Vibha Budh Raja, Mahima Sahani Official 1234, and Catherine Saundaraj. Massive congratulations to all 3 of you. We will be writing to you for your addresses so that you can receive my book Unlocking the Golden Cage. And for all of you who would love to participate in this challenge, all you need to do is take a picture, okay? Put your biggest takeaway. What was your one single learning of what you can do with your relationship differently today because you came here? And then put it on your stories. Yes? You explain everything in such a sweet and simple manner. Thank you, blogger Anjali. Got goosebumps at 4:45 when I was saying the prayer. I'm so happy to hear that. How are you so content in life? You know what? My concept on content is actually coming from one of my teachers who says, be content with your past, be ambitious with your future. Be content with your past, be ambitious for your future. When I do gratitude every single day, you know what the beauty is? It makes me very, very grateful for the life I live, which helps me build my contentment with my current state. But because I'm extremely futuristic in my thinking, I am someone whose company is called Life by Design. I do a lot of goals, a lot of affirmations, a lot of visualization. I always know what my next 5 years, 3 years, 1 year needs to look like. So I'm also very ambitious about my future. So see if you can start to balance these 2 energies of knowing where you are is exactly the place where God needed you to be at this point, but also knowing where you are going is mind-blowingly amazing. And when we are in balance of those 2 energies, I feel like we are a lot more calmer. Some of us are too much in our future. We are like, we want to get there fast, and that impatience leads to stress. And some of us are looking at our past and being too much in regret. I feel like regret is one of the most wasted emotions because you can never go into the past and change anything. So why waste so much energy on regret when we have a whole new future to build? And if you build a beautiful future, the regret automatically fizzles away. True or not? Hai na? Kadambari, received your book. It's a blessing. Thank you, Kadambari. Anuradha Sivasamy, I'm working hard. I have goals, but even though I'm doing everything, this fear after divorce is making me miserable sometimes. Anuradha, of all the things a human being experiences, divorce is one of the worst. So please allow yourself the grieving process of losing a relationship. You know, somebody the other day was saying that there is death in a relationship. Even when we lose a person, at least the whole world sees us grieving. But when we lose a person to divorce, that the death of that relationships, a relationship that meant so much to you at one point, is also a lot of trauma. So my suggestion, sweetheart, that just work with, you know, giving yourself the time and space to heal and grow. So if you are having fear right now, it is only natural because you're still building yourself back from whatever has happened, right? So work hard, have goals, but also allow yourself the space to heal and grow. And that's very, very important. Now, I don't know what your financial situation is, but one of the things I always say is that for some time, You need to spend time with you. Especially when things as drastic as this happen, you don't want to move from one race to another race very quickly. See if you can give yourself the time to be on the bridge for some time, which is the healing journey. So if you haven't yet started your healing journey, darling, I highly, highly recommend it that you start your healing journey, because only through your healing journey can you come out a winner at the other end. Otherwise, doubt, fear, procrastination, perfectionism, dream stealers, overwhelm, all of that is sitting ready to consume you. Hai na? And if you're not a part of my awakening program, for all of you who are here, highly, highly recommend that you register for that. I'm also having a very special class called Money Manifestation on the 1st of March. So see if you can keep yourself free 1st of March. For 2 hours, I'm going to go deep into the energy of money and what are the fastest ways to attract it into your life. Something that I'm doing for the first time. Even I'm very, very excited. It has been a request by my tribe so many times that I couldn't not give in. And I thought, now that I'm going to give it to my full tribe, why not also give it to everybody who comes from my Insta this thing. So if you'd like to register for that, all you need to do is go for the link in my bio. It will say Money Manifestation. Just register there and you will be invited for the 1st March morning. It will happen in the morning of 1st March. So 1st March morning. Yeah? Fabulous. On that note, quickly take a picture. Take a picture. Let me fix my hair. Yeah? Got it? Let's do it with the card. Glass of water. Got it? Oh, so sweet. Magical woman you are. So sweet. For all of you who want to be a coach, this coming weekend not this coming weekend, the following weekend after that, 25th and 26th is my 2 days of coaching mastery. If you'd love to enroll for that, be in touch with Gunjan. The number will be below this video. Thank you. Swati, I completed the book which I had won from your Insta live. I'm feeling so much gratitude. You've transformed me. Oh, that's so lovely to read. Thank you so much, Swati. Thank you, Saranya. Okay, tell me in the chat box. Let's read. What are all of you doing on Valentine's Day? I want to know what's your program. Share with me what's happening with you on Valentine's Day. Are you in a happy place? Are you feeling like why no one's wished me till now? Are you feeling like I wish he was more romantic? Or are you feeling like, you know what? I am responsible for my own happiness. I'm going to create my most beautiful Valentines. Tell me, how's the day going for you? Shipra, happy Valentine's Day to you too. Thank you, Millie. Roshni, Image Design Consultancy, thanks a lot for this session. Super session, ma'am. Taranjot is saying, I'm going to be cooking biryani at home, being my own Valentine. How lovely. Alisha, bachcho ko manage with lots of positive energy. So sweet. God bless you, Miri Jaan. Trish is saying, trying to make my partner feel romantic for me. Great idea. Absolutely. Instead of blaming it on him, is there anything you can do to bring in the romance, from the candle to the sexy nightie to the lovely, whatever you feel like doing. So I love that when people take responsibility of, okay, I'll make it nice even if he's not interested. Happy and at peace. Nice, Shipra. Mamta, I am feeling very happy. I celebrated with my supreme soul. Oh, nice. I celebrated with my supreme soul. Great, Mamta. Nothing, ma'am. Routine only, but I feel it also. I'm visiting my mom as she's leaving for hospital today. Oh, God bless her and may she have a speedy recovery. I received gifts. That's great, Anamika. Neha, date with my 5-year-old in a super happy place. How lovely, Neha. God bless you. Love you so much. Going for dinner to eat sizzlers. That's lovely. Magical with so many of my plants. Gratitude. Celebrating my Valentines, and that's me. I had a beautiful morning with my husband, and now I'm going to plan a romantic evening for my darling husband as he comes from office. Nice. Some of you are getting it right, going for movie, eating cake, all of that. And some of you are spending time with yourself, but I can see a lot of positive energy here today. So for those of you who aren't yet feeling positive, my note before I go is become responsible for your own happiness. Stop depending on other people and stop giving away the remote control of your life to the closest people of your life, because you know one of the things you're doing is you're letting them decide your mood. That's too much power in the hands of an outsider. Take your power back, take your remote control back, whether it is going for massage or going to the salon or looking pretty or planning something for the evening. Do it for yourself. The only two things I don't want you to do is, one, wait for him to do something, and two, compare yourself with the lives of others. Okay, everyone is on their own journey. Some people will have a great Valentine's this year and not so great next year. Some people have a great Valentine's next year, not so great this year. We don't know who's going to blossom, which flower is going to blossom when. So stop comparing. This whole world right now, thanks to marketing, all of these things has made everything so less people feel happy, more people feel sad on days like this. Would you agree? So I feel like one of the things we have to do is take our power back from marketing and take our power back from the people who have that control over our life. True or not? Fabulous. Wow, met Mahatria yesterday at Mysore. God bless you. He's such an amazing man. Having a surprise gift to my husband. Oh, lovely. Going for dinner with parents. Yeah, you know, last year Puneet, I and mom and dad went and did a 6-course or 7-course dinner at the Leela in Bangalore, and we had such a good time that literally my parents were like, we should make this a yearly event of us doing Valentines together. Puneet had to go for some golf tournament, so he just came back yesterday, so we couldn't travel. Otherwise, it would have been so lovely to celebrate my Valentines with my parents. Of course, for all of us, our fathers is our first Valentine any which ways, isn't it? And for those of you, yes, who are not celebrating Valentine's Day, I hear the new word is Galentine. So, happy Galentine's Day to all of you. On that note, I'm going to run. If you haven't gotten a picture, quickly take one. Jaldi, jaldi, jaldi. Love you. Bye. Have a great day. Happy Valentine's once again.